Hi and welcome to the sample swing tutorial. First we're going to download an Eclipse Indigo based on Eclipse 3.7. So if you go to this URL that I highlight here in the browser and then go to Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers and download the 32-bit IDE. This is also assuming that you have a 32-bit JDK installed. The reason I'm using this is I seem to have hit issues the last time I recorded this tutorial trying to use the 64-bit edition. So we're going to have a go today and see if this all works out. So I usually just install my Eclipse in my user profile on Windows. So if you want to get to that, you can just click the start button and go GO or whatever your name is. My abbreviation happens to be JOR. And then you can create the folder Eclipse and then pop all your Eclipse installations in here. Okay, so that's downloaded. Also try to download maybe WinRAR or 7zip for unzipping stuff, because the Windows tool that's embedded in there just is slow and speeds things up quite a bit. Okay, so that's extracted. So what a lot of people do is either seem to hand code swing applications or use NetBeam's IDE to build a swing application. I'm going to show you how to use a development tool from Google called Windowbuilder to build a sample swing application, and then I'm going to download Windowtester, which is going to be used to write simple JUnit automated tests to test the application. And you can put in your desired workspace. I just like to name the workspace to the topic of projects I'm working on at the moment. So if you search it for Windowbuilder, go to download, go to beta, and grab the link. And when Eclipse opens up, go to help, install new software, paste in the link to work with, click add, name the link, call it WB 3.7. can click all of them. There's different designers in there maybe you might want to play around with after, for SWT and GWT for doing web applications. And the Java I'm using is JDK 1.6.0 update 45. This is just taking a couple of moments to install. And I'm just doing a search to have the Windowtester URL ready for installation. Restart now once that's finished installing. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a sample Java project. And it seems to be picking up my JRE from my Java installation, so we can configure that. We can go add standard VM directory, go to my C, program files 86, Java, you can select there. You can actually pick the JRE folder as well if you want, but I prefer to use the JRE inside the JDK. Finish. Tick that. Remove the other. Okay, so that's set up to run against JRE update 45. Okay, everything looks good. And let's go to the source. Actually, let's change one more thing. build path source, we can change this to target classes. The reason why I'm doing that is I will show in a later tutorial how to automate the building of this application with Ant. So, okay. Okay, so let's create a new package. And right click and go new, and go other, and type in window, and select Swing Designer application window, and let's give it a name. And let's select a new design, or select the design tab. Okay, so here's all our controls, and first of all we have to put a layout on there. So I like to use form layout, and you just click once on the form layout and then click once to drop it in, and then from here we can add our controls. So we'll add 3 labels, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll add 3 text boxes. And then we will add 2 buttons. Okay, so we can name our label LBL amount, and let's change the text of that. And let's change the second label to discount percent. Let's change the text of it. Let's do the third one. Total. Change the button to calculate and change the text to calculate as well. Change the last button to exit. Okay, do a save all on all of that edit. And now let's create the two events for the two buttons by double clicking on them each. And here's our first one. And then we switch back to design and then create the second one. And do a save all. Switch back to design. Okay. So amount assigned double, first double, and then it's text. Oh, I forgot to name the text fields. So that's text field dot get text. Because we want to parse the string text that we enter into the control into a double. And let's do a save all. Go back to the design, click on this and change that to text field amount. Just change that to text field discount percent. And then total. Save all on that. And then if we switch back to our source, you can see that that's been reassigned or refactored to text field total. A text field amount as well, like everything's been refactored from the text controls. So double total equals or is assigned amount minus total, so tx total dot set text. And we can convert total to a string like this. Okay, so let's try this out. Do a save all. One more thing, let's code the exit. And some Java doc comments. What else do we do here? Discount. Do save all. Let's test the application. Some error in my logic there. Can't do basic maths, but that's no problem. And okay, let's click exit. Now let's write some unit tests for this using a framework, a GUI framework for testing this. GUI testing framework, sorry, I should say, for testing this. So let's go back to my web browser and Windowtester. Grab this URL. Go install new software. Paste that in there, click add, name it. Select all of them. welcome screen. Here's our Windowtester icon right here. And go to record configurations, Java application, click our per calc main, and let's click record. Okay, let's click the recorder on. Let's do the same as before. Type in 100. Type in the percentage discount. Click calculate. Click inside the total box and exit application. And let's put it in the percal.gui and name it test1. Okay, let's move this test now into its own test package. So click source and click new package, and we'll call it com.percal.test. And just simply drag it in there. So you see here it's try it once don't seem to have worked correctly. Okay, thanks very much.